Desk. I'm Alex Machine Richardson, and I'm of course joined by the two friendly faces. You're probably well and truly aware of them now. I do have Devil Walk and Vendetta by my side to walk us through what we just saw on Cash, map 1 of this best of 3. And I'm quite literally just going to open up the floor to maybe let you guys summarize that action-packed first map.
Well, that's exactly what it was. It was back and forth every single time. We saw Ecos being one. We saw basically both teams being gotten their backs against the wall every single round. So that was really fun to watch. And the story of the game kind of turned into who could carry harder, Maniac or Cajun B. And I know, well, we just sat there and thought to ourselves, like, what Cajun is doing at the start, especially during the first half, was just mind-blowing.
Yeah, I mean, just crazy action-packed game. We've seen, we can see the stats on the screen right now. Cajun with 1.9 KDA, Oof. And we got Maniac with 165, but they basically ended up with around the same frags.
35 plus on both.
Yeah, just crazy stuff. Especially, I'm super impressed by Maniac and how he's actually been developing the last couple of months. Like, he said he's feeling better. He's, but they kind of switched up position, especially on their cash. RPK used to be door, and now Maniac is there on the T side, and he's been doing great for himself there.
It's been absolutely wonderful, and the fun part is that that wasn't a change that Maniac requested. It was RPK saying, no, I don't want to be a lurker.
Yeah.
He was actually wanting to be sent into the forefront, go ahead first, and
Did I hear you slip into a little French accent with RPK there?
RPK, no. RPK. No, I'm not going to try. I'm just going to be mad.
That's true.
But it was actually RPK who suggested that change because he wanted to be more in the middle of things. Yeah, exactly. And Maniac's just thriving in this role as of right now, and that's a great sign for Titan. And even though we didn't see Kenny S necessarily dominate the game, he also had a pretty positive showing. So that's going to be a bright spot for Titan going into Dust 2. At least for me.
Yeah, and you've hit the nail on the head with Dust 2 as being our next talking point, because that's going to be, again, a real interesting one. The main point that was made before Game 1 was that Titan had to pick up Cash, and they've done so. So in terms of results and in terms of Titan succeeding, if that's what we're going to be our main focus for this one, is how does Dust 2 need to play out, Jonathan?
I actually think Titan will struggle on Dust 2. If you saw the match against 3D Max, I mean, they basically had no way of stopping their attacks. Like, they never gave them a break. They just kept on pushing and just pushed their advantage. And Titan never ever, like a single moment on their CT side, got a room to breathe and like rethink how to do things.
Yeah, and
I feel like TSM with capable AWPers and very individual skilled players can play that style, and maybe they've prepared something like 3D Max played against.
Yeah, and you would imagine that they actually saw that game that Titan played versus 3D Max and figured out that, well, 3D Max are doing a really simple thing. They're just putting the pressure on Titan right away, and it's working out brilliantly. So wouldn't be too surprised if we saw that. 3D Max barely touched that B-bomb site at all because Titan was struggling so heavily with figuring out what to do with the A-bomb site. And that's where Kenny comes in. If Kenny is on form, they can have him hold off either short or long by himself, and then have more focus on whatever other side or whatever other part of the map is open. And that needs to happen for Titan if they want to win Dust 2.
And I mean, the last time these two teams met was on this map. Was over in the Star Series finals, and that was 16-5 to TSM. I mean, that was TSM with their full lineup, but again, this seems to reiterate what you guys have already been saying, that this is going to be real tough.
But if you look at like tournament performance, like AWPers, like Cajun AWPing for TSM, he's been really impressive with that AWPing. Kenny is kind of lackluster, he has his moments, he can pick up those really insane rounds and, pick up entries you never knew were possible, but it's still way too inconsistent because he has the weight on his shoulder on this map. If Titan want to pick it up, Kenny has to be huge. Like, he has to pick up entries after entries.
And that's the thing, because we talked about how Maniac was so good on Cash, but is he going to have the room to do the same thing on Dust 2? And I don't think that's the case. I think they need Kenny, or maybe someone like Apex. Again, we keep bringing him up for not,
and he hasn't done
blowing as well. Yeah, he's been there. He's been contributing at times, but it's not Apex that we expect to see most of the time.
And with that all said and done, it's time for me to introduce the casters. They told me off for not giving them a nickname, and I'm just going to be honest, I don't think Semzi has too much of a ring to it, but either way, it is time for me to introduce Pansy Am Semler, or Panla.
Semzi or Panla? Is he even trying? Or like, how are you feeling about that, buddy? I'm used to this abuse, but
I'm kind of coming up empty here.
yeah, it's not great.
Hold on.
All right, just mull it over. You sat down now, it's okay, so you can just take time.
Moranzi?
Moranzi. I kind of like that. Sounds better than what he came up with, at least. Anyway, map 2 coming in, Dust 2. Now, I don't know what to say about this one. I think actually throwing point outs are pretty damn important on Twitter. Just over in general, in and outs, I think it's important to go with the typical form of a team on a map, right? Now, typical form of these two on Dust 2 coming in, let's take it into that sort of term. Should
Machine,
this be...
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Machine, if you think apologizing is going to cut it, sorry,
Is it
mate.
not? Is it not enough? It's not enough
You're
right
going to have to
now.
make it up at the bar later.
We'll see what he can do. He's a poor man, or he's on the caster salary. He's not got much going on right now. Okay, he's on the basic starter wage. Let's not push him too
But
far.
he's, okay.
gotta be
I was going
nice.
to go somewhere, but I think it's best I not. So, Pansy, what
Dust
do we think of
2,
Dust 2?
you know? Yeah,
What do we think of
let's
Dust 2?
break it down. What would you say typically, while the knife goes on, should be played out here? If we're playing just off stats alone, typical performance alone, how is this one going to pan out?
Well, I think it's still going to revolve around Kenny. And Kenny had his moments. That's the thing. You can really see the Titan depend so heavily on Kenny when they really do struggle. They count on him, at least on T side, to really open things up. That's even with Maniac dropping 30 bomb, right? It's incredible that Maniac is able to be the one to come in and make the difference for Titan. But Kenny, he had his rounds. He had a couple of strong rounds, but then he also had some rounds where he missed key shots that I don't think he would have missed before. So you can tell that there's some frustration there. There's got to be some frustration on Kenny's side that he feels like his game has been impacted due to the update, and he's still trying to find his way. And so Titan as a whole are trying to find their way because before they so heavily relied on him to deliver, to create openings and opportunities for him or for them, right? So I think Dust 2 is the same, and Dust 2 is like the op map. It is the op map. So for your primo opper, the best opper in the world, to be struggling somewhat, you have to be feeling a little frustrated if you're Titan right now. Whereas on TSM's side, they have 3 oppers who are very good at just holding angles, although Cajun can be aggressive. They have 3 consistent oppers, but they can also go just full out rifles and not really suffer too much because of it. So we shall see. I think that this should be TSM's map, but a lot of people outside were saying Titan.
Yeah, and kind of just as we walked past out to get some fresh air more than anything, just between that game, the team stepped outside as well to have a quick chat and just Titan. Funny enough, it was Apex who was really animated out there, clearly looking frustrated with something. I don't know what's going down. My French, since GCSE has been pretty lacking, it was a little better to say the least. But they looked a little frustrated and maybe just feeling a little bit pushed, maybe feeling a little bit of friction. TSM took their own time, didn't get to see those guys, but all in all, we'll see how this goes down. The knife round did happen, and it will be TSM choosing to start on the CT side. Titan going to kick it out on the T side, and already Cajun B looking hell of a bit aggressive this time. Massive impact in the previous map.
Okay,
Feeling
thank
confident
you.
this time as well, but he makes it out alive.
Thank you, Hector Rosario. All right, so Cajun B is going to be holding off on mid doors right now. This is actually kind of crucial because they have a very heavy mid focus going on TSM. They currently have 3 guys mid. That's insane, actually. If Titan could pick up on this, they would start pushing the extremities really quickly. Like, go straight up onto B, go into A long, anywhere but mid. But now they've actually rotated back around. They've got the 2 guys here. They've got 2 guys at long. TSM are kind of going for the catch-all, and Titan are currently gathering up for the B play. And it seems like TSM have got wind of this because they're going to put 2 guys solid on that site. So this is the proper answer. A fresh smoke going down as well. TSM doing everything right.
Yeah, really nice utilizing of every single piece of their arsenal. Resistance starts to have a little bit of a glimpse in mid. I think he saw Cajun B, but that's going to just spur on the push towards that B side. A slight mistake with the nade from Cadian's going to cost him. That means Maniac gets to push in, take control, and that is B all theirs. Titan with a wonderful execute. Kenny taking down Kerrigan. And now Zibnik's lost out of this. He gets taken out by RPK, and that is a clean first pickup for Titan.
And that is also just like the complete brute force method. Despite TSM having a solid hold or solid opportunity to hold with 2 guys on the site, 1 close to rotate, they can actually land some shots. That just didn't happen. Titan just ran in and clobbered them. And that is also just the no fear tactic. No fear, no tears, only dreams. That's in Titan, they got there in their dreams. They lived. They lived and they saw.
Indeed. And T-side, looking at what they've got, living into that MP7 green. Not great work from Apex then. taken, I think that was Katie a little low, but not clearly low enough. Down to 40 HP. Nade to follow. Flash comes out too, but none really connecting. But surmounting really in this kind of control of mid, working their way up short. The smoke is already up at the peak of it, so they can't really look out towards A just yet. But there's still Cajun B, there's still Carrigan, and Zipnik's starting to turn his attention towards it. So if they do commit, they could in theory be 3 players there, but they do have a lot of weaponry to work with and still a lot of time. There's no need to rush the commitment here, but all in all, looking to see where they play this out to, because that scout could start hurting if they do commit to this.
It's all about the tags at this point. He needs to just start tagging people up, setting it up for Sipnix. Good counter flash that's going to slow things down, but there you go. First shot goes in, takes out Apex. Now can he find the follow-up? Kenny with the jump, spots him at the angle. These are very hard shots to hit now, and Cajun's lost an opportunity to have an impact, although he does get the tag, and that's what I'm talking about. RPK actually slays existence, and somehow, some way, TSM have bled out Titan. There's going to be the jump shot coming in from Cadian to deny the plant, and Maniac is now left all by his lonesome in a 1v3 versus 2 scouts and a P250. It's almost, yeah, he's actually making the call to back off. 15 seconds left. There is no way for him to win this round at this point. It is impossible.
Nice position to stay alive in, but you pointed out perfectly the work coming in with that scout just on the cross. And I just want to kind of think back to the way he kind of dealt when Kenny was there. As soon as I think he heard the scout being coming to play, he adjusted just for that jump shot on the corner of what you can see on the left of the screen. Then it was just so he can get the angle of the peak and to go for the challenge, but then back to away as well. So constantly adjusting, constantly moving back, not overstaying his welcome, and it was just really nice to watch. So TSM turning it in round 2 now into round 3. Mene gets to keep that AK. Everyone else kind of buying up a little bit into this. You know, Kenny S does have, you know, P250, Armor, Apex as well, going out with the Tech 9 and Existence. When they brute forced, it worked, and these guns do allow for a little bit of bruteness.
You can count on Titan going for the aggression, the ultra aggression. They don't want to eco, and they've shown this more and more recently. It used to be something that they suffered from. You know, eco actually, you know, going for force buys later on in the half when they were under pressure. But now Titan, they have truly embraced the all-out brawl that has become the beginning of the half, where nobody wants to eco, nobody wants to be the first team to crack and say, okay, we're going to stay with, you know, P2000s, we're going to stay with Glocks. Nobody wants to do that anymore. So Titan, of course they go for a buy. They have Maniac, he's been hitting shots, he's got the AK. We have to see them go for the running gun, and they're just going to try and close in on this B site.
Yeah, and Zipnix didn't get the chance to get on towards that box to watch the push-up towards that B site. And actually, Cadian going to have to hold on his own hip. Does pick the Tech 9 into hand, switching out from that scout. Going to turn around, go for the shot on towards it. But in the end, it's Maniac making the damage through mid. And now 2v2 Bomb is with Kenny. Oh! Cadian, huge kill coming in with the scout. Denies that, and now Maniac left in a dire spot again. This should be a cleanup for Cadian. He does get some work in. Jump shot comes out. Maniac expected that, but couldn't deal with Cajun B holding into that window. So big impact from Titan. But that single kind of spinning scout turret from Cadian, insane.
I have raised my hands in the air. I am bowing down to the mighty Cadian. He who has just saved the Danish team. That is what we're talking about. Cadian just coming in huge. He is the reason why TSM actually managed to pull that round off. What a save from him. Keeping that bomb from going down. Titan are strapped for cash, and they are going to have to go for the eco now. I mean, Cadian did everything right, and he has shown that he is capable. That he is capable of actually making the correct play and playing those kinds of situations down pat. Maniac sneaks in, but he walks right into Kerrigan, who has that MP9. Big fan of the MP9, Kerrigan. He loves this SMG. You will see him use it. He's almost like up to not to. You know, he's the same kind of level. He is just going to go for it every chance he gets. And look at what he can do with it. This is so much money.
Raining all over him right now.
And what's worse is that this is actually the bomb drop there, so they're going to have to go and keep feeding money to this guy.
And that's another one. RPK down. It's just Apex left here. He got to pick up 4 kills with that.
All right, well, there's the scout down, but Sipnix is here. Sipnix with that UMP, and there he's going to get hunted down, and he gets taken out. Every kill this round going to an SMG. That is a ludicrous amount of money. Look at that. Kerrigan's up to $8,800. $8,800. That's obscene. Good luck getting this guy to eco anytime soon.
Yeah, he's solid. And is he stick? Are you serious? Are you serious? He's got 7.5, and he's like, you know what? No, I'm good. I am good right now. I'm gonna play to this. He's got Zipnix on long. He's gonna be flashed out, get into position. Kenny still watching on mid. There's not an AWP either on TSM. They're sticking with the scout as well. This is the most like bad manner buy-in that I've ever seen. Sticking with the scout, sticking with the SMG. It's just a little bit filthy to watch, and if it pays off, Jesus Christ, the money TSM's gonna have is just vile.
You got it on the button, right on the button, Pansy. It's all about the money, and it's all about if we lose this round, we'll have plenty of money to buy up in the next one. It's not a problem, guys. It's not a problem. And they can still do the damage with these guns right here. Kerrigan's position right there, up close with the MP9, he will wreck you if you try and run out. So there's no reason for him to not to have this gun. Up close, the MP9 will Shrek people. So this is now going to be down to Cajun holding that cross once again in position, but the flash comes out from Existence. That's a perfect flash. He gets flashed in return, however, so they are just doing the right thing here, TSM. It's just that Cajun had zero impact in that position, and RPK actually playing the lurk role on B site right now, stopping Cadian short.
And well, that's Kerrigan now just going to upgrade himself to an AK, so switching that one out, getting the money off the back of that kill to boot. Just beautiful. And now the retake begins. Cajun B puts the scout to play. RPK does almost kick into gear, but now it's just Kenny. It's turned on a dime, and Kenny gets pressure from every single arrogant angle, and it's just Kerrigan working himself into this. Defuse comes in, that's no big deal. They've got an AWP down, and let's see this one out, right? They started with a scout and an SMG. The SMG got a kill, upgraded to the AK. Then he killed the AWPer, and look at that money. It's just filthy for TSM. They're set, they're good, they're golden, they're full one.
I'm wondering, is there something along the lines of an arrogant angle that we can look at? I'm wondering, what would be an arrogant angle? I suppose like holding in Longhouse, up close could be an arrogant angle because then you're all confident, right? You're saying, yeah, I'm gonna beast you, mother. Like you're gonna go down. What was sick about that is that, well, actually there was a couple of mistakes there made as well though, because RPK nearly took out Kerrigan, and that's actually some miscommunication on TSM's side. They should know that somebody's in lower halls, and you should be checking that angle when you run by. So I don't know if Kerrigan didn't hear it or if he was so hyped up because he won the duel in Longhouse, but that shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have been that close for RPK to pick up a kill and mess up the rotation.
Yeah, a couple of issues here and there just slipping in. As you said, it could have been so many just small things coming into play, but beautiful control from Dupree, allowing him to pick up on towards Maniac, leaving his Existence alone. And a very passive hold in mid coming out from TSM as well. Xyp9x placing himself quite deep towards that CT side of spawn and just not really holding all that close, denying any chance that Tech9's going to have of that close range pickup that it's so good at. But through and through, Existence is going to struggle to find much here. Dupree's going to put himself quite safely on the B-bomb site, kind of tucked behind Cadian. He's not going to have anyone really just challenging out mid. He does have the bomb, but 40 seconds, what can he do with it?
I'm wondering. He is just going to be dancing around, and there you go, they aren't friends. And, who is a friend? Thorin. You're right, Thorin. Every angle that Happy takes is an arrogant one. Very true, very true. All right, so, yeah, TSM right now, they're kind of running away with this game, and for more ways than one. Not only do they have the rounds on the board, they're getting the kills, but their money, because of these SMG kills, is out of control. So TSM right now, there is no pressure. There should be no pressure on their shoulders. They should literally be able to just, think up something and execute on it, because they don't have to think about, what about, saving next round? What about, where, are we going to be able to afford anything? No, they should just be bullying Titan, really. They should be able to take a couple of risks, and there we go. This kind of play right here, going into Upper Dark. 2 guys into Upper Dark, they could spot out this man holding, and they can wreck Titan right here. There you go. Cadian delivers, and now Titan, they're going to be on the back foot. Their flank is open, and you can see the rotation. Now they have to try and plug that up. They don't know if they're going to get pushed or not.
Cajun B, Dupree starting to fall back into standard spots, and all of that within a minute. A minute that they wouldn't have necessarily had anything else going on really in the shape of being able to pick up a kill, unless the T-side did speed up a little, but great pickup there. It's going to be 2 players pushed fairly down on long. Kerrigan get himself down in towards pit now. But you can see Cadian, have to be cautious here. 2 players going to make the play out of it, but just going to challenge through that smoke. Apex walks in, feeling fairly confident somehow, as Dupree now needs to retract back to site. We've got Xyp9x watching that peak, so in theory, Existence shouldn't get this, but he does somehow. Maniac does find Dupree. That's B open and ready for the taking. Now just Cajun B and Kerrigan in this. Kerrigan is on a tear though. He's going to get himself towards those B tunnels, get straight up in there. Cajun's going to join him, but will they commit? That's 3 players on the site, but they've got the money.
Well, they've got the money, but also they don't have the time right now. They need to get a kill within the next couple of seconds. They have to get something, but Apex is going to step forward and impose his will on Kerrigan. He takes him out, and this forces Cajun to fall back with the AWP, which is the right call to make. But that's just really awkward and also kind of scrimmy from Apex to just like sneak his way through the scope.
Yeah.
And I think Cadian got caught off guard there. So that's, that's just, that time it worked. Apex actually got the timing right. He managed to get the punish on Cadian, and because Cadian was the only guy in that site, it's too risky for TSM to come through. Existence lurking to catch the rotators out. I mean, everything pretty much going according to plan. Apart from that, Cajun loses that AWP. So that's actually a lot of money that's it's going to get spent this round because he had to go and die.
Yeah, and sometimes that little bit of let's call it unorthodox style, right? I was having a chat with the 3D Max guys, and they were like, when you play a certain way, a certain, maybe not the smartest thing, you catch people off, and Dust 2, it can be played like that. That's how they felt they won it. And that play from Apex then just kind of paid off some and then some fold, to get them back into this at a 5-2 scoreline. But still, they've got a long road to go, and they're going to start making these A plays, if they keep looking in this direction. They've got Karrigan to deal with that, and Cajun B with that AWP just dancing through. Held this now though, didn't take the shot. Flash comes out. Might have just got caught a little on the adjustment, but no, doesn't even get tagged up. And look at this control TSM is just displaying, just slowing them down. But now, where did Titan take this?
Titan, I mean, Titan have got options. They're still fine. They still have a minute on the clock, and they still have enough gear to take a side if they want to. They're going to set up. They could set up right now for a CT smoke, but there's an easy kill coming through for Sipnix. He takes out Existence. The rush again is going to come through. This is full beast mode, full YOLO, straight onto the B site. They're going as 4, and Cadian, he has to land the shots, and so far he's doing a good job of it. He's just staying alive, and Dupree and Sipnix, that crossfire, Titan just gets shredded trying to get in here.
And now it's just Apex, the man who showed that prowess before, does finally go down to Zimnix. And as you pointed out, it was all that crossfire. Kaden didn't necessarily need to get just the kills, but his presence being on that sort of platform, just making it so much hard work for him to get anywhere other than that. The T-side just getting stuck in that straight up push out from those B tunnels and just being shredded to pieces. So already T-side looking a little bit strapped for cash. We do see an AWP Kenny, no surprise there, a Galil with Maniac, and a couple of other bits spread apart. But Existence waiting on this one. They're just chanting it out, it seems, trying to have a talk through what's going on here. And I don't blame them. They're starting to feel the pressure, really. The times they've got these rounds was one of the pistols, and the other time where Apex just went off on a tear. That's something you can't count on, as you said. So where do they take the rest of these rounds here?
Well, you're basically talking about the two minds of Titan. Between the two of them, they're the ones calling the shots right now. Existence is the in-game leader, but then Maniac does step in for a lot of the mid-round calls. And I cannot believe that Kenny wins out versus Cadian there. And he actually lands that shot. That is disgusting. That is Kenny for you right there. And Sipnix trying to make the difference, trying to go through the smoke here in CT, does not commit to the risk. And instead, it's going to be Dupree. Peekaboo moment here. Let's see how strong his legs are, because he's got to duck really fast right now. And he's going to get rushed down. There's nothing he can do. He gets pinned down in that scenario. Karrigan gets a free kill on a Maniac, but there's too little here for TSM to work with. Again, it's into this situation where they're just going to back off to manage their money.
Karrigan and Cajun now. I think the Karrigan just caught a glimpse of by Apex. Cajun just going to hold that mid push up, leaving Karrigan to kind of deal with himself in that corner. And really 6-2. Soon to be 6-3. Time finding a little bit of room to breathe here, and it's all on that B bomb site so far. And I'm not sure where we can see that going. I thought it was going to be hard to kind of keep that under control and kind of be forging these sort of rounds consistently, but they're finding a way to do it at least.
It's usually, I mean, it could also be that that Titan have figured out where Cadian is playing, and this is not to throw Cadian under the bus, but does Cadian usually play B side? And is he going to be comfortable holding those angles, stopping those pushes, etc., right, when they come in? Is he familiar with the flashes, the smokes, etc., right? When you specialize in a spot, you learn all the tricks for it, and if that isn't the usual spot that he plays, then Titan could be figuring out, wait a second, now we know where he is. You know what? Let's just go and keep poking him. Let's go and see if we can just keep the pressure up on him, and maybe that's the weak spot right now. And so far, it's worked for them. It's worked for them. They've been able to get out onto that B side consistently. Maybe not because of Cadian, but so far, that's what's worked.
Yeah, and well, they've switched up a little here. Maniac does actually get himself out on long. I'm not sure if he's going to expect two players pushed up, though. Zipnix and Karrigan both here. But will they check? No! He does get a drop on towards one. Not going to get the follow-up. Karrigan at least shut down that threat. But while all this begins, Apex and Kenny going to start making their way towards the side. Cajun B going to deal with that leg of the attack. And beautiful work predicting Kenny is working through the smoke. Not going to find Existence, but surely Karrigan should be able to clear up the rest. But no, RPK is there. And Karrigan does finally come into form, but it's just RPK left. He's going to try and pressure down Cadian, and hopefully he's not the weak link here.
Nice nade there by Cadian to slow them up, and there's a smoke as well. Do they expect him to come running through? No, they do not. Surprise, surprise, Cadian. And what does he do? 180 headshot onto RPK. Nice shot, Cadian. That was a great play, though, by RPK. You see that smoke go down, and in some minds, that smoke represents a brick wall. Like, nobody's ever going to run through it. And he had it right, RPK. He caught them turning away. It's just that he wasn't able to lock on with the aim this time. Nice attempt, but also very fine work. We see it here in the replay. Cajun B, he misses that point-blank shot on Existence, but that's a very difficult one to hit. He gets the two important ones. He manages to kill off the push on Cat. And this may force Titan to start thinking about going B-side again.
Yeah, may certainly do. They are getting that control in mid. Zipnik's getting a little bit closer up towards short. Easily drop off if he wants to, but got to say as well, Caden, the man who got caught out by Apex doing that not too long ago, so I'm kind of glad somewhere down the line he was able to deal with the T-side kind of bringing that sort of pressure, but Zipnik's just gathering a little bit of information, backing away, not losing out on anything, dropping the molly to slow him down. The T-side just slowing themselves down this time.
Yeah, and the T-side, that kind of play is basically, we're going to try and force the gear out of you early. So your incendiaries, your smokes, your flashes. They're trying to force the nades out to make it push eventually stronger for themselves. And right now, Titan, they're also going for a bit of the lurk play. Look at this, Kenny down into CT. This is nasty. I don't think anybody from TSM saw that he was down here either. And then Existence just trying to draw the attention. He's going to get annihilated by Dupree. And yeah, there you go, Kenny. You're playing this so well. Don't get greedy. Does he get saved? Does he get saved? No, he does not. And there you go. Cajun, he must have looked away at the last second there. Zipnix, what a surprise for him. But Kerrigan at top mid, pins down RPK behind headshot box, and this is going to live up to its name. Kerrigan gets the headshot on RPK, and right now TSM are in full control.
Massive control in this one, and Katie just holding on so long for that shot then. It was just almost unfortunate to a degree that, you know, he didn't quite take the shot earlier, but, you know, we have X-ray, they don't. We can see that there's players, you know, pushing around everywhere else, but still, not the best of buys coming off the T side, but it's something they've scraped together. No AWP for Kenny. Gonna be sticking with that AK still. Very talented man, even just with that, but double AWP on the other side for TSM. So Kadian getting himself the AWP, a little aggression coming out again. They're going for this one, and RPK's actually on the other side this time.
And this is a very nasty angle that RPK's holding. It is pre-fired though by Kadian. So Kadian pre-aiming that spot really wise there, because it can be a little tricky spot to watch, because you're looking toward, your instinct is to look towards lower dark. And you just have this one little crack to peek through it into T-spawn like that. So RPK gets chased away. And there's a shot by Cajun, and the duck basically saves Kenny's life there. Cajun would have been dead on with the shot.
Would have been Cajun, though, normally sitting by those cars, had already rotated over for B, but now leaving A maybe a little vulnerable. Long has been picked up. That was Carrigan going down. Zipnix now needs to kind of fold forward. The T-side start beginning this sort of playing. Cajun B not going to land the shot as they push through. He's only caught a glimpse of a pixel almost. And the CT side left reeling here because, oh, the T's have full control. Kenny going to display some of that. Maniac following up. This was the take that Titan had needed for quite some time.
And I think that they made this take because they realized that Cajun was holding mid, and they're like, wait a second, there's the op. He's not holding cross right now. Maybe we can take advantage of this. And they decide to go straight up cat and get in their face. TSM not able to get back in position. We saw also the fact that Kerrigan gets picked off by Maniac certainly didn't help, because that forces the rotation out by Sipnix. He has to change up where he's holding, and then Cajun gets caught out on CT slope, and things just spin out of control. But you have to give kudos to Titan for not wasting any time. They figured out, they banked on what happened, or I mean, they figured out the situation very quickly and acted, and that's a solid play there to pick them up in a very important round.
Let me ask you the question, what sort of, I guess, how many rounds would Titan have going into this wanted on the T side? Because we've seen a lot of strong T sides now coming out on this map just in the last couple of games. What are we starting to look at here? Because the CTs are a little bit strapped for cash, but you know, they still have the AWP there with Cajun B. They still have what they need to a degree, excluding maybe Dupree, who's going to be in a bit of a situation, but Cajun getting a glimpse of the first, but just going back in for a very aggressive secondary peek, but it's Apex pushing 3 through mid. Cadian going to be there, ready and waiting, and everything's kind of died down a little until RPK just pushed straight in, feeling confident. They knew what was up. They'd forced them to play in towards that mid push that had come through, and Titan have control of B here. 3 players left on long. When will Titan be satisfied? Do they need every single round to even be comfortable?
I think they'd be fine with 6 rounds, honestly. 6 to 7, well, I mean 6 to 7, right? But then that's like the 50-50 scenario. But I think Titan would be fine with 6 rounds because their CT side is very strong as well. And that's where Kenny is going to get the shine with that AWP. He's not. We haven't really seen anything huge out of him because, you know, those aggressive peaks are no longer favored. But when he can hold an angle,
yeah,
then Kenny can really just shine because it's just, you know, locked on with that just robotic aim that he has and rack up the frags. So we shall see. I think 6 rounds would be fine for Titan right now. They're shaping up to get 5. They're nearly there. And TSM are the ones who really desperately have to stay alive at this point. They need these guns because their money is in shambles right now. And are you kidding me? Maniac with the full wallbang onto Sipnix? That's like perfect wallbang. You do so little damage now through those metal doors.
That was almost a whole clip basically put into that, and it just kind of like perfectly trailed off at the end to just take him down. But round 14 now, 8-5. TSM still in the lead, but as you said, Titan getting close towards that precipice they'll be comfortable with. They'll start feeling okay with. They'll start, you know, not being too worried about. And Kenny going to go in for that shot towards long. Zipnix is there. Did get flashed through, but not to the degree he could peek down towards that angle on Kenny. And well, Apex already finding the first. Kenny does finally get that shot towards Zipnix. He's going to surely expect Carrigan close by, because Dupree actually, these things have switched up here, and Titan just starting to become that really bullying force, and that's a great round played out.
Just really straightforward. landing all the
Clean.
shots. Nothing really to say apart from the fact that TSM, you know, they went for the peaks. This time it didn't work. Kenny was able to open up long. They were able to open up mid. And from there on out, there's no longer any strat involved. It's really just TSM rotating all over the place and crossing their fingers, hoping they can stem the flow. There's the wall bang, and there you go. The beauty of this actually being effective. That is crazy. I think they even got some team kill or some team damage onto Kenny there. A little bit over exuberant.
And look at this. Cadian's completely locked out of B. By the time he was able to cross and get there, they're already in on towards that side. Apex going to start leading the way. Smoke goes down. A little bit of a challenge throughout the rest of the map, but it's all about this B side. And there was a good stand coming through. Can Cadian finally stop the rod? The bomb is loose on the floor, so they still need to make a bit of a push towards the side in the end, and it will allow Xyp9x to get a little closer while he comes through. Existence, Maniac, and Apex all in on the side. 1 minute to make a play out of this so far. Once they got in towards B, they've been pretty spot on. They've been winning these rounds, and Cadian getting taken even lower by that nade.
This should be an impossible situation for Titan to lose at this point. They have everything they need to hold the angles. Cadian, Xyp9x, they have a single flash to work with. Are they going to hit the time right? Cadian is dancing on the edge, but he's only got 17 HP. Apex holding up close. He literally just needs to point up and spray. Maniac gets flashed, but Apex does the job. And Existence holding close to doors just stops Xyp9x from coming through. So 8-7, the final score, and I think that is just fine for Titan. I think they're going to be feeling very comfortable with this outcome at the end of the first half. 7 rounds, when their strong side is their CT side, that'll be good. I mean, strong side is CT side. I mean, we have said that they have struggled with their CT, but Kenny, if he can just get his eye in, and RPK, if he can just hold on to a site, you know, he's holding B site, and he's just going to be crossing his fingers, hoping that they're going to come and play, because he's shown so far that his aim is good.
It's starting to look better, as we said. At the start of this game, there was so many rounds back-to-back for TSM. It was starting to get a little worrying. It was like, have they just found the key? Have they found something that just works for them? And, you know, Titan can't find a way around it. And then a couple of breakthroughs on towards B. I think it was 2 rounds. They got the bomb down, and it was good. It was Cadian that they took down there. It was like the key opening. Then it all started to work. And off the back of that, they just found their rhythm, and they just got into it. And looking at the way it closed out, 4 rounds in a row for Titan to close this one out at a nice close scoreline towards the half. But TSM, you know, you say it on occasion that they are quite the CT side. Now on the T side, what can we expect from them? I didn't see anything, you know, game-changing, and now we get to the likes of Kenny on the CT side with that AWP eventually. Surely this is going to be a tough battle to get through for TSM.
Well, let's see. There's going to be the aggressive peek at Longhouse right now. Cadian just full YOLO. Nice nade onto Dupree, and nice nade onto Xyp9x as well. Good damage being dealt, but this is like straight up matchmaking from TSM. Just run out onto long, take the fights, land the shots, but Kenny is going to stop them short. Cadian is going to get taken out with a great headshot. RPK with a flash, trying to do more, but he only gets a 1-for-1. And now Cajun wrapping up onto Cat. This is actually working out fairly well here, although Existence hits his timing well. 2 guys on Cat right now, taking the fight straight up, and Kerrigan, he cannot hold. Xyp9x is going to be the only man alive here in a 1v3, and they know exactly where he is. He's going to get nailed by Existence. And just like that, Titan, perfect retake scenario of that site.
Just absolutely brawled their way through, but made it look so clean on that final little bit of play coming in towards it. And 8-8, it's all back, it's all square, it's all even. And it was just brute force from TSM, as you said, like that matchmaking style, just guys go along. You saw that beautiful little bit of a glimmer of hope from Cajun B coming up on short, then making it work, picking up, like, I think it was 1 really important kill, almost making it 2, but in the end, that just brawling power coming out from Titan was just overwhelming. But still, flashes in along, Cadian gonna try and make a little bit of a play out of this one, gonna flash himself and go for the challenge down a pit. He is slightly flashed himself, but he actually did have a good chance in it too. But in the meanwhile, it's all about that B side. Apex holding it like a champ though, picking up 1, denying Cajun, but the play through mid comes in from Kerrigan, and they should have some control here. They still have Cadian in mid. They have Kerrigan and Dupree on the side, bombed down. They've even taken 2 guns for their trouble.
They've actually got some fireworks to work with here. Cadian, the sacrificial lamb, even lives to bag again, I guess. I don't know what okay, whatever. 3 guys alive on this B site. Maniac and Kenny, though, they're going to be hard-pressed to get in here unless they can just insta-give Dupree, who's holding close. Kenny not going to be lucky with the CZ aim, though, and it's Maniac now. He's got 1 man pinned down, but he walks into Kerrigan's waiting arms, and that is going to be TSM coming back into this in a big way. So really nicely done there. The buy actually works out for them, and now it is Titan once again in this familiar situation where they're just going to have to spend the money and buy up.
Looking at them, Apex with the CZ, there we go. Kenny has P250, P250 for Existence as well.
Restraint.
Yeah, they're really not going into this one. It didn't happen in the previous map as well.
The only thing that this makes you think is that Kenny is like, well, no, I want my op. And they are actually just thinking, well, no, this is all about gear at this point. We're going to just save maximum, and we won't get into that struggle. which is really surprising because it does seem like Titans seem to like those situations where they can just swing for the rafters and go for the haymakers.
That's something they're certainly known for not too long ago, but opting out of it, Maniac had absolutely nothing to his name, but he makes that happen. Kerrigan goes down. I doubt he'll get away with this. Surely not. Cajun B backs away. Tries to leave Zipnex to do it. Finally shuts him down, but both of those players got pretty damn low, and Kenny,
wow, that's
4.7.
Oh, that's pain. That's agony. Even after that, the P250, the cost of the P250. Oh man.
Wow.
That's
just cost
painful.
him so.
And they're going, I mean, they're so committed right now, Titan, that they're going for another save. Wow, now this is a problem. They have to do some serious damage to TSM because TSM now are going to have some pretty nice bank. I mean, yeah, they're going to be just sitting in the money if they can just continue to clean up like this. If they get a perfect anti-ego TSM.
Look.
And again, I mean, this is also Titan just over-rotating. They did this in the pistol, they did it in the second round. And now that TSM are playing off of that.
And they're playing it perfectly. We saw, I think it was Cadian going on towards A. He got the attention of two. They stayed there. They overwhelmed on B. And it's pretty much the same, but it's Kerrigan this time. Kerrigan with the AK. Kerrigan going for the cleanup. Apex goes down, and it's just mowing him. He may get an AK at least, but Zipnex is winning it long. So that may even be recovered by the end of this.
They can even go out and hunt this.
For sure. Why not? You saw that
Existence
money.
in CT. Zipnex is here holding the angle. He's just going to be waiting. Kenny has taken out Cadian, however, and that's a long-range shot into mid. So unfortunately for Zipnex, Kenny has not made his way down long. Instead, he's decided to hold up, forward up on this A site, and they're going to be able to save this AK. So not actually the best situation there for TSM, unfortunately for them. They're still going to have to spend some money in the next round. And that's why we don't see them really actively hunting right now, is because if they drop another man into 2, then it's actually going to take way too much money. They're going to be spending way too much. So at least this time they can drop for a teammate or for both of them, and they'll still have one guy who's going to be developing money for them.
All right, so Existence got himself the FAMAS towards it. Kenny's going to drop over Apex at AK. Kenny going to be surely going in for the AWP.
It's pain. It's pain. Yeah. Cadian got the AWP though. Where is he going to take it?
Did he have the long spawn?
Yeah, okay, no, he had the mid spawn. This is ideal. Takes the shot, legs Existence.
That's a pretty good bit of work to start off with. Perfect. Dupree feeling confident in these flashes. Apex has snuck behind them though. Apex is down by Pit, I'm pretty sure. And I don't know how much they know about this, but it's Maniac creating that crossfire, watching the edge of the smoke. As they push through, crossfire kicks in. It's 2 kills back to back for Titan. And just that little bit of a pinch at long, gonna make it so much hard work. The flash comes out, separates the 2 remaining players on long. Cadian finally deals with Apex, but all that goes down. It's now 2v3, but Kerrigan worked his way up mid, reading the situation well, and they may just have this under wraps. But can they now get the bomb across?
Yeah, they should be able to, because Cadian had the smoke to go for the CT cross, and yeah, they just kick it across to Kerrigan. So Cadian can set up shop in long. He needs to get into Pit before this man comes around the corner, though. RPK, he steps. RPK should have hurt him. There you go, and now the pressure begins here. He needs to hit the shot perfectly. He's not going to get it, but RPK is fluffing the shots, and then RPK goes down to a sick headshot from Cadian. Only problem is that Existence gets a jumping M4A1 onto Kerrigan, and now it's going to be down to Cadian. Can he land the shots right here? And yes, he does. He pulls through with 2 HP. He clutches it for his team.
That is going to make him feel just phenomenal. Already picking up that tag on the cross at the start, following it up with that work along. That headshot he picked up, it just shouldn't have happened, but he did. It did, and that's changed everything. 12-8 now, and look at the state of the money for CTs. They still got, you know, a little bit of something, but it's not much. You've got Molly's on RPK, who's going to be picking up that FAMAS, but Dupree finding Maniac. We've got 2 AWPs. Apex with just a pistol.
Yeah, the P250 as well. What? Okay, then. Thought that shot was dead on there. Existence, unfortunately for him, he doesn't get it, but then there's the overlap. Kenny waiting at the top of Cat is going to take out Zipnex. There are still 3 players out here at long for TSM, but they decide to fall back. The one man hanging around here. And Apex, well, they just decide to fall back again. So basically, this is going to be TSM. They're like trying to go for the fakes, and it might actually work because there's only really Kenny on this A side. Instead, 3 guys are over on the B side for Titan. TSM need to act. TSM need to act. They need to play off of this right now.
If they don't, they've wasted a perfect opportunity. They've been pulling Titan left, right, and center. This is not the first map, but Apex, Kenny, and Existence now kind of falling themselves back into place. Apex did only have that P250. He's going to do some damage, but it's not enough. But RPK finds Cajun. He was lurking in mid. Kenny not connecting there. It's allowed TSM a good step towards side bomb. Just about gets picked up, and Titan are left so damn low here.
And Kerrigan has to go for the safe plant. Molotov down though, that could do something here. Cadian, point blank, is going to take out Apex with that P250, but we lose Kerrigan to a headshot from RPK. RPK doing what he can to make up for the last round. There's the flick shot from Cadian, long range P250 shot, but the bomb is not planted for him. He cannot do anything to stop this. It is going to be down to Dupree, but RPK is sticking this bomb. He's sticking the plant, but he has no kit. Does he have the time? Yes, he does. They are going to manage it. But that is also down to just the constant pressure from Titan and mainly the push from RPK, because at the beginning or in the middle of that round, RPK, as soon as Titan rotated towards B, they didn't see anybody from TSM. That's when Titan started to come back. And the reason why is because RPK started to push Upper Dark and give all that information to his team saying, hey guys, nobody is here. Get back onto A right now. Get onto that pointy letter and hold on firm. Well, they do manage to squeak through on that Titan, man. They're cutting corners everywhere. Famas is, and Kenny with the op.
This play did push up mid. I'm not sure they're going to hear this though. It's going to be just an all-in push towards that B side. RPK does find one, but it's not enough. Dupree and Cajun B, the power of that combo is phenomenal. Kenny though might go for this. He's peeking through, trying to see platform, nothing there. Bomb goes in. Still got Kerrigan lurking. Apex makes the play, picks it up. Apex and Kenny though, last time they were in this sort of predicament, it didn't work out too well, and I think Titan just going to think about things through here and just get the hell back. Watch for those plays and see if you can pick up one on the way out. But now, TSM get themselves on a decent round mark here, 13-9.
13-9 and a reset Titan economy when Titan were really stretching. Titan really pushing to get the money in. That's going to hurt. This is really going to hurt. Although Kenny taking out Dupree, you know, basically it's like, oh, you know, I'm crying, but okay, I'll go ahead and take that kill. Thank you. You know, TSM, they don't want to hurt Kenny's feelings. Kenny's too nice a guy. They're like, here, Kenny, have one of us. We know you haven't been getting all the frags that you've been used to. We're going to go ahead and help you out.
Yeah, and look at it, 13, what is it for, okay, there, 13-13, right? This guy is such an impact player normally on this map. You know, T-side, we kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt in the way that, you know, the AWP changes don't make it so viable as a T weapon anymore. You know, to that degree that you used to be able to play to, those quick peaks just don't really fly as much. But now, on the CT side, you'd kind of hope that he'd start picking up these kills back to back, and Kenny, I think he saw him. I'm just not getting that connection here. And then on the other side of the things, you know, it's Kerrigan just going absolutely wild, and then they can switch up with two other players, including Kerrigan, who can pick up the AWP and put it to use right now. Kenny needs to find that form.
Kerrigan has been getting into a lot of positions that allows him to flank or lurk or do these kinds of like low impact kills as well. So I'm not going to say like
Kerrigan he's not making everything happen. Yeah. It's not Mirage all over again. There's no way, shape, or form.
So we just need to keep in mind about the context of those frags, but still, you know, solid work from him. Maniac not going to be able to accomplish anything here at long apart from tagging up Sipnix. He does spot out the bomb, I believe, so we have the rotation coming out now from Titan. Apex trying to buy time with that incendiary, and this is now Kerrigan opening things up. That's a good kill to get. RPK is down. Apex just with a mad spray. Gets returned by Dupree, but we're into a 3-on-2 here, and it's going to be down to Kenny S. He tries to go YOLOing through that smoke, and it was, you know, just the once. Just the one time. And there it is. TSM now up on 14 rounds. They are battling back in this series.
There's nothing with that CT side. I feel like they've not been on that full comfy buy once almost. It felt like it's so far away from them. It's unbelievable. And now they have nothing. You know, a P250. Last time that hurt Kenny. Let's hope that's not again. But they need something. It's going to be match point otherwise, or map point, should I say, because it'll be 1-1. But quick B play coming out, and this time not stacked out. RPK in a good little corner though. Could have made something happen with it. Existence gets one, but look at that pound. Just straight in, dealing with it. Swept across the map, and that's Kerrigan. He's cleaning up these kills. You know, he got 3 then, as you said. Not just, you know, super impactful kills, but it does clean the board, and he gets them to 15-9 now.
Yeah, he gets in there, man. But that's also Kerrigan, right? He's like the entry fragger for the team. He likes to lead that way. That's like this. This is the style that he appreciates, is when he can be the first into the site. He can get those frags, maybe, but mainly he's getting the information for his team, so that you have the heavy fraggers that come in behind him, like Cajun B and Dupree. Those are then the guys who are supposed to be in and wipe everything out. It just so happens that Kerrigan is pretty good at entry fragging. And Kenny is also very good at opping, though we do have the lurks coming through for Sipnix and Cajun. And now we're back into a 2-on-3 scenario here. TSM down a man, but at least they have the bomb, and they have a little bit of gear to work with on Cajun.
They do, and it was an insanely aggressive round start from Apex. They're just heading straight up. Kenny being able to support him by picking up a good couple of kills off the back of it, and now they're working out where they are. Maniac already pushed up towards short. Kenny going to get himself on towards B. They know these guys weren't at short. They weren't at mid. Sipnix still waiting and spawning Cajun B by those B tunnels. There's 50 seconds here, and Maniac goes down, it's kind of dangerous.
Does he get the sense, though? I mean, he started to slow things down here, Sipnix. He's walking. He's trying not to give away information because he knows somebody could be up here and he needed to win that duel. But Maniac once again coming through for Titan. And now things get very difficult here. 40 seconds left for TSM to get something done. And it's going to be down to Cajun with 72 HP, 2 flashes, a Molotov, and an AK.
So far, Titan are holding kind of firm in where they're staying. We've still got Kenny in mid. We've still got Existence on B. They're just splitting everyone up and just saying, just sit and hold these sites. 20 seconds. Cajun, surely not going to make anything out of this. He's got the time to get there. Maniac's not watching this. Maniac is literally like backing up into... The timing is unreal. Just he turns around, Kenny's going to clean it up. And that could have been so different with a second in that.
Yeah, he really had so little time to work with, though. I mean, he was down to, what, like 7 or 8 seconds when he was getting to cross? Oh, he didn't even know. Yeah, he had to get that kill as Maniac came around the
Instantly
corner.
cross without Kenny hitting it.
Yeah,
somehow,
exactly.
right?
Just like go for, trust, that you can believe you can fly and like make it across that gap without Kenny tagging you. And there it is. Wow, quite a bit of a diversion going, but Kenny not quite able to tag it up. Actually, an exchange of shots, but neither op are connecting. So we're back into it now. Action it long, and Sipnix not going to find anything there on the edge of the smoke either. So TSM have changed up the pace, and they've decided to go for the picks again instead of just straight up rushing.
Let's see how it pays off. We've still got Maniac waiting up and long, and his lurking's been pretty darn on point. But this time, he's kind of been spotted out, and they know that. These flashes aren't helping, but they do give him a moment of grace there, picking up Zipnix, but he can't get away. He can't escape. He got caught on the ledge, and Cajun B with Carrigan coming through here. This looks like it's going to be a third map, unless Existence and RPK can dig deep.
And RPK, who's been a bit on and off throughout this first map, he has to come in big, and he's going to be able to land that shot. He wins the duel versus Carrigan, and both of them doubling up on Cat as well. This might catch TSM off guard. They do have the man holding it long, however. This is a very solid situation, actually, for TSM. Debris peeks up, Cajun as well, and that is going to be a very quick stop to that push coming in from Titan. It is now tied up 1-1 in the series.
Wow. TSM showing some real class. Now, it certainly wasn't what you saw in the previous game when these two met up a 16-5 to TSM in that one. But still a great game to watch. So in theory, this is going the way it went before when these two met up. The map's going the same way. But now the third and final map.
And there you can see, I think you can see the frustration on Kenny right there. I mean, he is not pleased with this performance. This man is used to dropping 30 bombs with that AWP, being able to take the battles. And right now he really is struggling to adjust his style, his new, to this new style for Dust 2. Since he's been slowed down, it really has had an impact. And Titan relies so heavily on this guy right here to get the job done. I mean, we saw some opportunities. I mean, we saw some players like Maniac, Apex, step up in their individual rounds. But Kenny is so important. And if he can't get the job done, that's when you see Titan struggle in these scenarios.
Well, final map coming up will be Inferno. Let's hope he can find a little bit of respite here, just kind of reset the mindset, calm down, hopefully find something to kind of keep him in this. We saw that confidence starting to show a little bit on the first map, occasionally taking these confident shots, hitting them, but then it started to fade a little in the second, and it's been a roller coaster so far between these two teams. If you were going to hazard a guess into that final map, Inferno, where are you putting it?
I'm going to say TSM, actually.
I'm
going to go with TSM. I'm still going to say that TSM should take the series, that they should be the superior team right now in this current state.
Okay, I'm with you there, but we're going to find out how it really goes down in a small bit of time. So guys, do stay tuned. We'll be back after a very short break.